Loving your adult children should never cost you your peace. If it feels like you're losing yourself in the process, this episode is for you. I want to say something that might feel like relief. You can love your adult children deeply and still be confident living your life the way you want. You can stay connected without losing yourself. If you've ever felt like your emotions rise and fall based on the decisions and choices that your adult children are making, keep listening, because loving them was never meant to make it harder for you to stay true to who you are, or to confuse love with agreeing with their choices. I want to talk to the mom who wakes up at night thinking and worrying about their children, laying awake at night filled with worry or concern, tying your worth to their choices, or placing their decisions on your shoulders. You love them. Of course you do. You'd do anything for them. Of course you would. But somewhere along the way, your peace started depending on how they were doing, what they are choosing, and how they feel about you. It might look like second guessing, questioning, letting your feelings of self be dictated by them. Do you realize how exhausting that is? When you are tying your emotions to someone else's decisions, choices, behaviors, it's not fair for you or for them. Here's a moment you might recognize. Your adult child makes a decision you wouldn't choose. It doesn't align with how you raised them or what you imagined for them. Your heart feels heavy. Your mind spins. You wonder what this says about you, your parenting, and your faith. You tell yourself they're an adult, and you try to convince yourself that it's fine. I'm fine, but the heavy weight that you're carrying lets you know that you're not. For the that happened moment, I want to share something that I'm sure is not unique to just me. I have sat in sacrament meeting, smiling outwardly while inwardly carrying sadness and even some shame. It's a painful space to be, feeling like you're the only one struggling, hoping no one talks to you, and feeling incredibly lonely. What's kind of funny about these moments is that if we lived in integrity, they wouldn't feel so lonely. We would recognize that we're not alone. Truthfully, I'm not an oversharer in big situations. In fact, I do quite the opposite. But there is something really beautiful to opening up and letting our true selves be seen. Taking off that mask of perfection, or whatever that mask looks like for you. Others would benefit knowing that They aren't alone. Loving your adult children doesn't mean carrying their decisions in your nervous system. What do I mean by that? Your body is constantly bracing. Your chest is tight. You've got knots in your stomach. You've got racing thoughts at 2 a.m. Every text message feels loaded. Maybe even every life update feels like an emergency. You're worried about the faith crisis. That's not even a crisis. It's a journey. What it feels like is you're on an emotional roller coaster, shooting way up and dropping way down over and over and over throughout your day. So if that's how you feel, you're carrying their decisions in your nervous system. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't mean you're always living on edge and hanging on by your fingernails. It looks like, I care about you, I'm here for you, and I trust your agency. That gift we all were blessed with when we made the decision to come to this earth. A scripture that I like that helps anchor this a little is found in Doctrine and Covenants, section 121, verse 41. It says, "No power or influence can or ought to be maintained only by persuasion, by long suffering, by gentleness and meekness, and by love unfeigned." Do you notice what's missing? Control, force, fear. Loving your child doesn't mean you agree. It means you love you and you love them as they are. Setting boundaries if needed. That is something we'll discuss on a later episode, because boundaries are for you, not to control them. And that is often not the case when people say they are setting boundaries. For the "you're allowed" reminder, I want you to know you're allowed to love your adult child without carrying their choices. In fact, that is the best way. Connection doesn't mean condoning. I've got a question for you. Does your mood depend on how they are doing? Does your sense of worth depend on their choices? You might even wonder who you are outside of worrying, because you have been worrying for so long. Did you know you can be happy and filled with joy even if you don't love everything going on in your family? You can love your loved ones, feel connected and whole, even if you don't love everything going on outside of you. President Russell M. Nelson taught, "The Lord loves effort because effort brings rewards that can't come without it." Just to clarify, your effort isn't in all of the doing in hopes of everything turning out the way you want it to. Your effort is loving. Your effort is showing up with integrity. When you truly believe and trust, it doesn't require physical effort to be together. You're not worried about everything you say. You're not tiptoeing or hanging on by those fingernails. Yes, faith requires effort, but a lot less effort than trying to pretend or fake it. This is not the kind of effort I'm talking about. That kind of effort is exhausting. This might ruffle a few feathers, but their outcome was never your assignment. Think about that. I'm a certified life coach. Let me show you how that works in real life. You can say, I love you. No strings attached to when this, or this happens, I will love you. It's just a straight up, I love you. No thinking, I'm about to fall apart. How do you want to feel about your children's choices? Sad, discouraged, confused, curious? You can feel all of those feelings, which is the human experience. Feeling all of it, but still have faith and trust and know it's not in your hands to carry. You can stay connected without abandoning your values or your peace, trusting in God's plan and His timing. I want you to imagine this. Your adult child makes a choice you don't agree with. You feel that emotion start to rise. And instead of spiraling, thinking you need to fix something, or preaching, you genuinely and honestly know this is theirs. I can love them and still be okay. You can show up with love. You can have connection, peace, and fun together, allowing them to be them and you to be you, staying true to the person you want to be. I promise it's possible. When you stop trying to manage and control what isn't yours to control, it changes everything. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You weren't controlling it anyways. When you realize that, it changes everything. When you realize all you're controlling isn't working anyways, because it's not even possible. You were never meant to shrink your life while you walk on eggshells around everybody, or carry a heaviness that feels like a dark cloud around your heart. A heaviness that is there all day and all night, afraid to do or say the wrong thing. You are a beloved woman. You have desires, dreams, and a calling of your own. Yes, you're a mom, but that doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in the choices of others. Don't put your life on pause while you're waiting for things to change. Their decisions and choices are out of your hands. When you release that, you open up your heart to trust and faith. Not only does it feel better, you get to love unconditionally. Your love expands, not only for others, but also for yourself. If this episode feels like it puts words to something you've been living with or you want to believe, it is possible to 100% love your child when their choices aren't what you hoped for. I offer free 25-minute clarity calls. If you're an LDS mom who wants to love their children without losing their peace or themselves, I'm here for you. It's a real conversation, no pressure, just clarity. The link is in the show notes. I would love to talk with you. You can be faithful. You can be loving. You can be whole. You don't have to just choose one. It's all up for grabs. We'll talk again soon.